Preparing your enema. In your kit, if you have one of the 3 more comprehensive programs, you'll have your enema bucket and your coffee in your box. How we prepare it is obviously you take your enema bucket out of the package. The company includes a little floor towel. If you don't have one at home, you can lay this on the floor in your bathroom. And they also include the soap, but I don't recommend using this soap because the soap is toxic. Just throw the soap away. This is your tube that you're going to connect to your bucket. So unhook the little white tab. And the end that doesn't have this little blue thing on it, the end without the blue cap on it, insert it into your bucket tightly. Your bucket has, this cap wants to fall off, but on the other side is a little blue cap. Take it off. You're not going to be using this during your enema. Take it off and throw it away. And the company also already puts an oil on the end of the tube. I like to wash it off with soap and water first so that I could use unrefined coconut oil, which is a healthier choice. On your bucket, while you're preparing, you can actually take your tube and hook it in so that the end of your tube is not falling all over. So that's your bucket. Your coffee, this is a special green coffee that is non-acidic when using it as an enema and is helping clean the colon and purge bile from the liver. So this is your coffee, and you'll need a tablespoon. So take your bucket, and you need to use filtered water only. This sink that we're using here, the whole house is filtered. So don't use any water that's not purified, very important. So fill your bucket with cold water. And place it into your stainless steel pot. Please do not use non-stick pots. Non-stick pots are very toxic and you don't want that in your enema. Pour the water in the pot. Put your bucket to the side. Take your coffee, and we recommend starting off with 3 tablespoons of coffee. Just put it in the pot. Bring your water to a boil. Once it starts boiling, the coffee grinds will start to dissolve in here. You can whisk it up a little bit. Only bring it to a boil, but as soon as it comes to a boil, reduce it to simmer and simmer this for 5 minutes and then shut it off. Okay, now that our coffee is prepared and all the grinds have dissolved while warming, you don't want to pour hot coffee ever into your plastic bucket. This is a big no-no. We want to cool it down. You can use filtered ice and put it in there and get it to room temperature. You don't want it too hot and you don't want it too cold. So make sure the temperature is right. My temperature is still a little bit hot, so I'm going to add a little bit of ice. Okay, now our coffee is ready to be poured into the pot. When you first get your bucket prepared, you need to wash your bucket. You can do this by using food grade hydrogen peroxide, filling up the bucket with water and putting 2 caps of the food grade hydrogen peroxide in the bucket. I'll show you. We need to show you how it's going to run through the tube. 1, 2. This is your on and off valve. If you press it to where this goes thinner, your water is not going to run through the tube. So make sure it's off before you move your bucket around. You're going to spill water all over the place. Take your tube over the sink and click the button so the water starts running out. And just let this run for a little bit. This will clean the end of the tube and the bucket. You can even hook this on something if you're in a bathroom so you don't have to stand here. And then take the end of your tube and wash it so that you can use unrefined coconut oil instead. Put your cap back to close so that all your fluids are not running out once you pour it in. Click it on the side so you're not getting the end of your tube dirty. Here's the other side. And pour your coffee. At the bottom of this pot, there'll be some grinds. You can do this one of two ways. You can either put a strainer over the top and pour over that so you don't get grinds. You don't want grinds in your bucket because it'll block your tube. Do it in a little bit cleaner fashion than I am. Or you can just pour it and then pour it slowly so that you're not getting grinds at the bottom of your pot in your bucket. After you put your coffee in the bucket, you want to get all the air out of the tube. So take it back to the sink, unplug it. As it starts running through, then lock it again. This gets all the air out of the tube. Put it back on your bucket. Now you're ready to take this to the bathroom for your enema. Now, the process of actually doing the enema, you want to have your enema up on a higher counter. A good place to do it is in a bathroom. Lay a towel down on the floor. Keep your bucket up higher on the counter. Lay down on your left side. Put your unrefined coconut oil on the end of the tube. You want to be inserting about this much of the tube, about that much. You don't want to do too little because sometimes it'll get blocked and then you won't get enough fluid running in. Let it hang over the side when you lay on the floor. Insert your tube. I like people laying on their left sides first because then it's filtering up and through and running more through your colon. Once you've inserted your tube, unlock the clip to open so that all the fluid starts running into you. Breathe, relax. After it starts running into you, you can lay on your back. You can rub your belly, breathe into it. If you're feeling cramping, that will help happen a lot. Don't panic. Try to breathe through it because a lot of times after a couple seconds, that feeling starts to go away. So try to push past that. The more water you can insert, the more benefits. You're trying to do this whole entire bucket. If for some reason you just don't feel like you can take all of the liquids, you can close off your tab again, take it out, hook it on the side of your bucket, go to the bathroom, eliminate, come back, and start to fill up more of your bucket. You can do 2-3 times if you feel like you need to. The more times you do enemas, the more you'll get used to it and the more water you'll be able to take in. Now, when you're doing coffee enemas, it's a little bit more intense, and this will give people the feeling of running to the bathroom sooner. So if you're not used to it, a good thing to do is just to fill your bucket with lukewarm filtered water and just do water at first. This will start to clean everything out and reduce your chances of wanting to run to the bathroom right away from the coffee. So that's it. Bye-bye. I'm off to do my enema.